Head Coach,
Hey,
we can get started with in-person questions.
Okay. Here. Get a little tired out there as a group down the stretch. It seems like, you guys were kind of right there until that last stretch of the third quarter where they went on a little bit of run and, I know you only got a couple people, it seemed like, or am I not saying that correctly?
yeah, probably a little, but I don't know that we were tired to start the game. And I didn't like the way we started. I didn't like the start of the fourth quarter. After you have a timeout, the first 2 minutes of the fourth. I didn't think we played with enough focus or purpose, basically on either end for good stretches of that game. And yeah, that was not a good performance.
I just make sure that a little bit loose there. What went wrong? I mean, if I heard it, but
But she got a little bit of her stuff on broken plays, and we lost her in transition some in the first half. We didn't send her to the screen when we needed to send her to the screen. We didn't switch when we needed to switch. So I thought she just, break down by us, and she's good enough where she's going to make you pay when that happens.
Offensively, it seemed like there were a couple miscommunications or just challenges there. Was that a combination of new players and it being incredibly loud in there, or what did you see offensively?
No, awareness, focus, alertness, getting on to the next play. And I thought we played selfishly.
What did you see from Tosh? She seemed frustrated a bunch of the game, but had a game high 19, 7 in the fourth.
You'd have to ask her exactly what was frustrating her. I know at different times it was, trying to get people on the same page. At both ends of the court. It's playing with new combinations and stuff, and she's gonna have to work through that. But she made some good plays for us. She was aggressive. I thought she got us organized the best of anybody, but it's kind of normal for her. And she was able to get down the paint a few times.
Last thing for me, just thoughts on Linnea and Sai. I know they both hit some buckets in that first half.
Yeah, I thought that those guys and the bench group in general gave us a good lift, especially in the first half. No, I think when I'm looking at that game and I'm looking at what went wrong, those are probably the last two I start with. So they give us good contributions, and hopefully they'll get more comfortable as we go.
Eric, I know not really the subject of today's game, but Sykes, her steals streak that she had came to a close, 28 straight games with a steal, and she didn't get it tonight. But what can you say about her and her knack of just being able to get balls like that and have that such extended streak that she did?
Probably one of the best I've seen of being able to bait people with bad passes. And she's long, and she's got that great closing speed, so she can make it look like a passing lane's open and then anticipate and shoot a gap. She's got good hands. She got a knack for doing it. She's probably been getting people on the same thing since she was about 10 years old. So I didn't realize she didn't have one tonight, but it was an impressive streak, and she's right back on Friday and start a new one.
Was there anything in the end doing on their side that you guys hadn't seen yet this season that was maybe a little bit frustrating to you guys?
I don't know about that we hadn't seen. Their bench gave them a real nice lift. Emma Cannon's playing good basketball. We talked about her before the game because she had a nice one going into the break against New York. Zowie makes a couple shots. Berger was steadying for them, so I thought they had a lot of people step up. Now they're shorthanded just like us, and they made more good plays probably on both ends.
Hey Coach, can you just talk about the physicality in the game, especially in the first half? It seemed like, especially Maisha and battling Aaliyah down there, and even throughout the game, Brittany, Natasha, everyone was on the floor trying to make plays. Can you just talk about the physical nature of this game today?
That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be the rest of the season. The intensity of the league is going up as you get later in the season. I thought Maisha took the challenge. I didn't see how she ended up on the deck a couple times. Aaliyah is not afraid of physical contact. She had to play through 2 and 3 and 4 bodies in college, and she gives it as good as she gets for sure. And we got to accept that as part of the reality.
What about Queen? How have you seen her grow in the couple of weeks that she's been here?
I think she's getting more comfortable. One of the big things with her is her finishing. Our finishing's kind of been up and down this season, and she makes all her layups tonight, and that's a positive sign. but we need her. I don't know if I should have played her more tonight or not, but we kind of need everybody to be the best versions of themselves going in the rest of the way.
Hey, Coach, the youth and the seniors are very happy today. Just what does camp day mean to you?
No, it's. I mean, I remember going to games as a kid, and that was the highlight of my day, highlight of my week. You got it circled on the calendar. So it means a lot. I wish we'd put on a better performance for those kids, but I think they probably had a good time no matter what. It was certainly loud. My voice is gonna need a little recovery, but no, it's good. I'm glad we do it. I'm glad it's kind of a tradition in our league, and been nice to win it.
Thank you, Coach.
Any other in-person questions? I think that's it, Coach. Thank you.
Are we muted?
No, you're good.
No.
You're good.
I think they told me to go, hey, how are you? Eric was just in here, was a little bit frustrated with what he said, awareness and focus. And so I'm kind of curious, from your perspective, just overall kind of thoughts on what didn't go exactly correct today.
I thought we played a good first half. I think the second half, we still need to figure some things out. Execution, focus, understanding what plays we're going to go to. But frustration in this, I don't feel like we can be frustrated. We are missing 4 players right now, 4 or 5 players right now. We're asking people to step up, and they're doing a phenomenal job. Now it's just kind of figuring out chemistry with new players and defensive schemes or offensive schemes. So while this one hurts, obviously we want to win every game and we want to protect home court. There's a lot of areas that we can get better in, but we are really just putting one foot in front of the other right now. And that's all that we can do.
9 folks and trying to manage minutes and
Combinations too. Yeah.
Guys run out a little bit of gas down that stretch. It seemed like they kind of went on that third quarter run at the end, or just.
I wouldn't say we ran out of gas. No, I wouldn't say that. I think they have the advantage when it comes to bodies and rotating people in and making those quick subs. Whereas obviously we're shorter on the bench. So they come out with a little more energy. I feel like we didn't really do as good of a job matching their energy. Started that third quarter, they really came out and attacked us. But no, I wouldn't say we kind of,
Right now, yes, I think we just stepped up and didn't execute. We gave some turnovers up at the end when we needed to make plays, but you're asking, did we run out of gas? No, we played to the clock right now. Every single person, I'm diving on the floor, TT's diving on the floor, Mung is coming up with great shots, Queen's coming up with blocks. We played to the end. So that's what it is. One foot in front of the other.
Gosh, you're saying, not a time to be frustrated, being shorthanded. You looked a little, maybe not frustrated, maybe a little fired up, shall we say, like especially in the third quarter.
We can't give up our leads. That's my quote. We can't give up our leads. That's why I'm frustrated. We just don't have it right now to give up our leads. So we got to figure that out.
And then Queen, just wanted to ask you about your performance. I think 5 for 5.
Yeah,
and
talk
those,
about it.
and those 3 blocks. What were you seeing out there, and how were you able to get things going, even when other things maybe weren't totally going right as a team?
Well, just obviously I come into the game and my first focal point is defense, and I just let my offense come to me. I feel like my vets do a great job putting me in good positions. Obviously, I'm new, a little new. So I mess up here and there on the offense, and it does frustrate them, but they do a good job of keeping their composure and talking to me and letting me know that I got the next play. And so just my teammates giving me confidence, letting me know that they got my back. Tosh does a great job letting me know that she has my back. So I have the confidence to go over there and make those blocks, knowing that I have great teammates who are right there behind me and who are going to support me and pull through. So I think it's just trusting the people around me. Even though I haven't been here but 2 weeks. I feel like I've grown to trust them and I've grown to respect them as leaders and as vets, and they know what they're talking about. So I just kind of follow in their footsteps.
And Tosh, for you, you mentioned the players on hardships. Just curious what you've seen from them today and really this week.
Phenomenal. I mean, I know Queen isn't on the hardship, but you talk about 5 from 5. Lene comes in, she hits 2 big threes, really good ball pressure. Sai comes in, sets great screens, just rolls, does all the little things, rebounding, bodying, even just a hard foul on the Leah Boston. That's sending a message. So I think they're coming in. I think they're doing a great job. We're throwing a lot at them. They picked it up really quickly. So I'm really proud of the hardships and Queen coming in and just being able to easily adjust. I think that speaks a lot to the professionalism that sometimes, especially with Queen, y'all gonna stop talking about her. This baby is professional. She comes in, she's a joy to be around every single day. She got our back and we have hers. So we're happy to have her here.
Thanks, Dave.
I got you, girl. Oh, you see the poppy?
Bro, this is her 24/7.
All the time.
Literally.
Y'all had a video in our locker room, we'd probably be in some show with his party.
Literally.
It'd be fine.
No jokes aside.
I'll do some time.
Tosh, Queen,
Yes.
speaking on Queen, you being here for a couple of weeks, how would you kind of evaluate yourself of where you would want to be at this point, knowing the whole situation where you're at and just getting the adjustment period?
I think honestly, I'm right where I need to be. I feel like every game I've kind of taken a step in the right direction. So I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself and do things that are unlike me. I come in, I play defense, I block shots, I get rebounds, and I let the offense come to me. I try to set good screens for my teammates and get them open. I listen, I try to be receptive and coachable, and I just let the game come to me. It's really not hard playing for this team. It's actually pretty simple. They tell you literally what to do, and they put you in good situations that you don't feel like, I don't know what I'm doing or I'm unsure. Because if you're unsure, I'm pretty sure someone's going to come right next to me 3 seconds later and let me know what I should have or could have done. So.
And Tosh, I want to ask you about Slim's steal streak. Unfortunately, it came to an end tonight, but 28 games in a row that she was able to get a steal.
That's a bug steal, bro.
She was trying.
She said that last one. That's from her.
How hard is it to be able to sustain a streak like that? 'Cause
No, you have no idea how hard it is to sustain a steal streak in this league. I know in years past, the league has kind of been, you can pick who are the top teams and who are the bottom teams. You cannot anymore. So every single night, it's a really hard game you're playing against elite teams that are just playing phenomenal, especially in the second half already. It is really hard as defenders to get steals, but for her to be able to do it consistently every single night for as long as she has, how many games was it? 28. That's like unheard of. So we're sad for her, but she's gonna be right back on Friday. I promise you. I guarantee it. Actually, she gets to see on Friday. So we're gonna start this streak again. You feel me? Thank you.
Queen, first of all, how you doing?
I'm good.
Just to have a camp day question. You have young women screaming your name, "Go Queen." How does that make you feel?
It honestly makes me feel good just because I haven't been here for that long. So I wouldn't think that the little kids here would know me. I mean, they probably just hear my name and repeat it and scream it, but it's better than them not saying anything. Just having an impact here on the community has been important to me. Obviously, I haven't been here long enough to have an actual impact, but just the little things I've been doing, it brings joy to my face when I hear a little kid like, yeah, go Queen, or Queen, 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 or when they get really excited when I wave at them. It's cute. I love kids, so.
And saying, Tosh, you've been around a lot, but the energy, kids were standing up the whole game.
Yeah, I couldn't hear shit in her hug.
Yeah, I guess it got one point, but it got really loud. But again, just the same thing, you like to know a kid has a Natasha Cloud small jersey on, looking up to you, saying your name. What does this mean? Not the wins and losses, but just today mean for you?
Yeah, we were all those kids at one point, looking at this league and looking at our favorite players, and then we grow up and we make our dreams a reality. And looking up in the stands and seeing my jersey, seeing kids yell my name, wanting our autographs, all those things, that never is taken for granted. We never forget how blessed we truly are to be in this position that we're in, to not only play right for a living, but to be able to have impact on lives. I think that's a superpower that we don't always take credit for, of how much we actually hold responsibility in other people's lives. And simply by being us, someone can see themselves in us, and they can know that anything that they want to dream or dream of, that's achievable. So I love kids games. I love kids. I love the city of DC. I've been here 8 years, so this community means everything to me. So to be able to have this game where kids are just here and happy and safe, I think that's another thing, a place for kids to come and be safe, and not be in any danger and feel welcomed regardless of their background, ethnicity, race, sexual preference, orientation, all those things. This is, I'm so happy to be a part of an organization that creates those spaces for the kids.
Thank you, Tom.
Hi, Oliver. It seemed like a really physical game out there today, especially in the first half. Like you talked about, you guys, I saw you guys on both of you guys battling Aaliyah, like the hard fouls on both sides. A lot, even in the fourth quarter, everyone on the ground, slam on the ground the whole game. What was that game out there in terms of like the physicality, and like what can you take away from that, and what it says about this group, especially late in the fourth quarter, trailing you guys are still making those effort plays?
Obviously, Aaliyah's a good load for her team. She's a big body. She demands a lot of attention, and obviously she's a great player. So just understanding what she's good at, and that's her being physical. So I have to match her physicality. I have to kind of be a little smart in the way I guard her. Obviously, I'm not as strong or as big as her, but just being more agile, trying to get around her, trying to be lower than her and beat her to her spots, knowing where she wants to get to, her sweet spots, and just trying to play, make her read the game a little and not let it come as easy to her. Obviously, she's a rookie, so she's still figuring things out a little bit, as we all are. But just trying to make the game not as smooth, not as easy to think of. She's a great passer, trying to take those easy passes away that she gets her guards, and because they get going off of her. When she does well, they do well. And so I felt like trying to make it as ugly in the paint as possible was going to be important for our team. And I feel like for the most part, we posted a good job of kind of making it ugly and hard for Aaliyah, but it wasn't enough.
And I always think the second half of the year is always more physical. So we have to adjust. And today I didn't think we matched their physicality, especially in the second half. They got out, kind of disrupted us, set us up. So we have to be able to match the physicality, but that's an adjustment too, because that's refs also allowing it to be more physical than it was the first half. But this is when everything kind of starts as the second half of the season, pushing into playoffs, and things are just going to get more physical. And that's when we have to be better and more efficient and more focused and able to execute within both offense and defense.
Any other in-person questions?
Queen, for you, just real quick, looking at the box score and seeing Tosh with a game high 19, just curious, kind of what your impressions are of her as a leader so far, and her kind of, putting the team on.
Oh my God. I'm not about to toot her horn. Well, Tosh is a great leader. I think everyone knows that. Her energy is contagious. She comes into the locker room, whether she's having a good or a bad day, and spreads positive energy. So Tosh is, let me not gas her a little too much. Tosh is a great leader. She's a great communicator. A lot of teams don't have the luxury of having a point guard like Tosh, who is so animated, who is so passionate about the game, who is a coach on the floor, off the floor. She's always coaching. She's always trying to teach. And for someone who's young like me, I really do appreciate it, because I've been in situations where you didn't always have that, and you were looking for veteran leadership. And so I feel like when I got here, it was like I stopped looking, because Tosh is right here. Like, she has my back, I have hers. Yeah, no, Tosh is a great leader. I'm just really happy to have her. I think the team really appreciates her and what she brings. Even when she wasn't playing, when I first got here, she was still having a verbal impact. Everyone knew where she was, who she was. And it's really special. I feel like when we do get our pieces back together, things are going to click for us, and Tosh is going to be the head of our snake.
Y'all see her dimple? Y'all see mine? No, it's just
not lies. Y'all don't see them dimples. But thank you guys. Thank you, guys.
Is that it?
That concludes media. Thank you both.
Yay!